Hey, Chris. Just want to ask you, you've been kind of at the forefront of a lot of the statements that have been made by players, even on social media. You've been very vocal. What's that been like for you? What's the message to people? I know you probably heard people who've come back at you. What's your message for people who have an issue with athletes speaking up like you do?
Well, it's not really my job to tell anybody how they should or should feel. I can only speak from where I come from and where I hope the team would want to be represented. So when I speak out, I just do it as far as being a leader. This is my fifth season, and I want to be someone that the team could look up to and they can come to if they have any issues. And I also want to be able to, like I said, be a good representative of the team. So I don't really worry too much about what other people have to say or the opinions that they have, good or bad. But for the most part, I just want to be a good representation.
We'll go to Chris Walsh.
Yeah,
Sorry, Chris, I missed that. Go ahead and ask again.
yeah. With that in mind, what did you think of yesterday?
I thought yesterday was really good. We had a bunch of programs, not just football, but we had all the sports that came together, and we all have the same goals and the same missions that we want to accomplish. So anytime you can get a group of people, not just football, but everybody around campus to march and have the same passion for the same things, it's always a good thing. So I was happy with the turnout, happy that we had as many authority figures on the campus that did speak out, and overall the support was really good. So I was pleased by it.
Go to James Ogletree.
Hey, Chris, we hear all the time how difficult it is to play center and everything that you have to have in your mind going on right before the snap. Can you just take us inside the mind of a center and just kind of help us understand what it takes to play that position at a high level?
Well, it's a tough job, just like any other job in football. We got to make the calls. First things first, the job description of a center is to snap the ball. So we can't do anything if we don't have the ball. Coach Sarkisian always says we can't score if we don't have it, so that's the number one priority. But just as far as making the calls, making sure you have everyone else on the same page, along with getting yourself on the same page with everyone else, and then having to execute blocks and play at a high level, it's a difficult job, but the coaches expect a lot of whoever is playing the center, so it's a job that has to get done, and we can't make excuses for not getting it done. So it's a lot of responsibility, but it's one that I welcome.
We'll go to Charlie Barr.
Hey, Chris. Coach Saban said that if you guys can develop depth and stay healthy up front, you can have a pretty good offensive line. I was just wondering how you've seen your group kind of come together through the first 2 weeks of camp.
I think overall the first 2 weeks have been pretty good. Like you said, we're building depth, and depth is never a bad thing to have on the team. You want to have as many possible starters as you can on the team, because you never know, especially in a year like this, if someone were to go down or get sick, we need as many bodies as we can. So, he's right. We do need to continue to build depth, and I do believe over these past couple of weeks we've come together and we've got more guys playing more positions than I've ever seen here. So as long as we can continue to do that, then I think we'll be just fine as a group up front.
Okay, we'll go to Tony Sakalas next. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, Chris, you kind of mentioned that with the versatility of a bunch of players, but just how much have you and Landon being kind of those leaders in the middle of the line? How much have you kind of helped out some of the younger players that are taking in some of those interior roles as well?
It's been really helpful. I mean, Landon, as you saw last year, started at guard and started at center. He's played so many different positions for us, and he has so much insight, even going back to his days back at Florida State. So having him around and being able to bring along some of the young guys, and not just us two, but everyone on the O line, starter or not, everyone's looking out for everyone. So we all want everyone to be successful, and we also understand we do need everyone to be versatile. So as many people as we can get to grab someone else and bring them along with them, it'll just continue to make us a better group up front.
Mike Rodak will go next. Go ahead.
Just going back to yesterday, you being one of the key voices in that, what were some of the conversations like that led to Nick Saban being at the front of that group, walking at the front? And just what's your response to some of the people who might have questioned that? I know, for example, his daughter said that she received threats for tweeting about it.
Well, Coach Saban was very supportive. This wasn't something we made him do. This is something he wanted to do because he truly does care about his players. We didn't have to pull teeth. He truly cares about us, and he wanted to be up front, and he wanted to let everyone know that he has our backs. And just to have him there with us and talking to him about getting him to come along and how we were feeling as a team. You know, he was always very supportive, and we really do appreciate it because Coach Saban he's someone who's very powerful, not just in the college football industry, but all over the world. And to have someone like that on our side that truly cares about us is really special.
Okay, we'll go to Tyler next.
Hey, when you're preparing your remarks to give yesterday, when you're putting all that together, what's going through your head? And then have you got any feedback since that from any friends or family?
Yeah, I've gotten pretty much some really good feedback for it. But as far as what was going on in my head, I just wanted to speak from the heart. And while doing that, I also wanted to be a good representation of the team. I wanted to have words that weren't just mine, but could reflect for everyone, and that could, not only just show how we're feeling in times like this, but also push a positive message to help create change. You don't want to just go up there and say anything. You want to actually have impactful words. And I was hoping my words were impactful, and from what people have told me, they've been pretty good.